We're back at Red Lodge in Suffolk for round 5 of the Cool Fab Racing British Minibikes Championship. It's the official Junior BSB Championship in the UK, and if you haven't seen it before, here's all the information you need to know about the 5 racing classes featured in this programme. The Cool Fab Racing British Minibikes Championship is the official junior level of BSB in the UK. There are 5 junior classes, 3 racing on the smaller Minamoto bikes and 2 classes racing the Metro Kit or Mini GP bikes. Minamoto bikes are all powered by 40cc 2-stroke engines, 2 classes using air-cooled engines with different exhaust restrictor sizes and 1 using the faster liquid-cooled engines with more torque. The Minamoto classes are divided up into 3. The Minamoto Rookie class is for riders from 6 years of age riding in the championship for the first time or with little experience of racing. This class uses an air-cooled engine with a 10mm exhaust restrictor to control the outright top-end speed to around 45 miles an hour. Very fast if you're just 6 years of age. The Minamoto Pro Class uses the same bike with a 14mm restrictor size, making the bikes capable of around 52 miles an hour. Again, you can ride in this class from 6 years of age. The fastest of the Minamoto classes, we call it the Elite class or Junior LC40 class, with the liquid-cooled engine and no exhaust restriction, makes these bikes capable of around 56 miles an hour, but with a lot more torque. Minimum age to ride in this class is 7. No engine modifications are allowed in any of the Minamoto classes. The Metro Kit 50cc and 70cc bikes are effectively a junior version of a superbike. The Mini GP 50 class uses a 50cc Metro Kit bike with liquid-cooled engine, 6-speed gearbox, manual clutch, hydraulic front and rear disc brakes and 12-inch wheels. Riders can be as young as 8 years of age after riding at least 1 season in a Minamoto class, up to 16 years of age. These bikes on a large circuit geared correctly will be capable of around 80 miles per hour. The Mini GP 70 class uses a 70cc engine which is 60% more powerful than the 50cc version on a large circuit capable of around 100 miles per hour, with riders from 10 years of age, assuming they have done at least 12 Mini GP 50 races, and you can ride in this class up to the age of 16. Crispin, we've got the new branding on the truck in the background. Tell us all about that, a new sponsorship deal.
Yeah, this is fantastic. It's FS3, the British Superbike team. They're supporting us. They're big fans of what we're doing with the youth of the sport. They've got 2 young riders racing in their colours here, but also they've jointly branded their truck. It's a really generous deal to support us and give us that exposure. You can see their FS3 racing colours on one side and the Cool Fab Racing as well. And they branded the inside with pictures of some of our young riders. It looks absolutely fantastic, and it's obviously at all our rounds and at all the BSB rounds, so it really gives us great exposure in front of a BSB audience and gets them exposure in front of our audience as well.
It's a great event centre where people can sign on, they can go and get the results and everything else. Now, I did want to ask you, the last programme from Tattershall, we're looking at over 200,000 views online on our YouTube channel at the moment. It's absolutely huge, and it's quite surprising. You get a lot of people are saying, we didn't even know this was a thing. How do we get involved in this? So for those who've got kids or kids watching thinking, I'd like to have a go at that, I must have a word with my mum and dad to buy me one of those little mini motos. How do people get involved?
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of exposure we're getting online. It's just incredible. It's blowing us all away. But it's great. So, how they get involved, they go onto the coolfabracing.com website, and it's how to get started. Click on that. There's a drop down, and it gives you some examples in the UK of academies that you can go to. We're starting to work with people to set up more academies as well. The main ones is the Scott Redding one in Swindon, but there's going to be more dotting up around the country. And this is where you can go along for the first time for very little money, just to have a trial session, get on the bike before you have to buy the bike and all the kit. Have a lesson, see if they like it. If they get the bug, and normally it's the parents who get the bug as well, if they get that bug and they really enjoy it, they can have a few more lessons till they get up to a certain standard. They'll be signed off by the Scott Redding Academy, and they'll be able to come and race here in the rookies initially, and we give them a gentle introduction to it, and then well, you can see how they get on. They all go flying from there. But the exposure is amazing, as you said. But it's all around the world. They're coming back to us. By coincidence, there were 2 kids and their dad driving past from Sweden yesterday. And they saw all the trucks and they thought, right, we'll come in and have a look. And they came up to me and said, well, we race some mini bikes in Sweden. And they just were absolutely blown away. They went for a wander around the paddock. They said people are so friendly. And the 2 boys who live in Sweden at the moment were going, Dad, we want to move back to the UK to race here. So, that's the sort of thing we're getting. So they're very welcome. They're going to come. Then they can't make it next year, but they're going to come back to the UK and race with us in 2 years' time. It's awesome.
Great to be back at Red Lodge for the 2nd time this season. We'll kick off with the Minamoto Rookies. That's the riders from 6 years of age. Damp, overcast conditions, but it should make some entertaining racing. There are the riders of the 2017 season. Along your screen now, it's Kyle Payne on the front row of the grid for this one alongside Harrison Crosby. We're going to get starters' orders very quickly indeed, and we'll go straight in for the racing. Wait for it, and we are racing now. Good start off the front of the grid as the riders streak through, but right in there from the 2nd row of the grid, it is a cracking start for the 41 of Lucca Hopkins.
It is indeed, but Harrison Crosby sweeps round the outside to take the lead, dropping Hopkins down to 2nd. That's Jamie Woodcock in 3rd, and the poleman Kyle Payne looks like he's got a problem.
That is a real disaster in the early stages of the race. There already seems to be a bit of a deficiency with power in that bike, and as the rest of the field works its way through, it looks like it could be a very interesting one. They come out of the sweeper, down towards the oak tree straight. Here they go, and then they'll go through that long, flowing left-hander at top curve. This goes on and on forever on a bike. You've just got to keep the balance and the pace up. Then you flick back through the right-hander onto banana curve. And let's see who is going to make the break. Harrison Crosby obviously starting well. Oh, that's a faller. That's a faller through the right-hand king. Now that looks like Alessandro Valente on the 82 bike that's gone down. But all eyes on the leader, Harrison Crosby, looking to continue his 2017 form.
Dominated here at the first visit to this circuit, Red Lodge, earlier in the season, and looking to dominate again today. This is race 1 of 3. That's Jamie Woodcock, 2nd on track. 3rd in the championship as he comes left-handed into the 180. The tight hairpin, overtaking opportunities all over the track here at Red Lodge. And in motor racing, that is exactly what you want. You can see the lead. Harrison Crosby's just cleared off. Must be 4 seconds up the road, Jake.
It's amazing how big the gap is. Lucca Hopkins battling away as Sullivan Mountsee's trying to come right round the outside. Can Sullivan Mountsie make the push? But Jamie Woodcock still hanging on into 2nd position. Lucca Hopkins riding well in the middle of a very intense battle with Sullivan Mountsie still trying to overhaul. Now is Lucca Hopkins going to get the run here into the final turn? Having a think about it into that little S's, but no, it's not going to happen on this occasion. So as they come down the main straight once more, Lucca Hopkins now looks for the inside line for 2nd. Now he's got him. Brilliant move on the inside, but they're going to run right again. Woodcock still there on the outside line, and Sullivan Mountsie trying to tuck back in, but that was a good move from Lucca Hopkins. He set that up halfway down the straight leading up to the final chicane, and now he's into 2nd position. Sullivan Mountsie trying to overhaul as well to get into that 3rd position through 180, and he's there on the inside, but he won't have the inside for the next corner. That's where Woodcock is going to be able to keep the place.
And that's allowed the man in 2nd place there to get away. That is Lucca Hopkins. So Hopkins 2nd. It's Woodcock there just about holding on to 3rd place. Sullivan Mountsie, though, supplying all the pressure. The lead, 5.41 seconds at this stage of the race.
Oh, look at Mountsie.
Unbelievable.
Look at Mountsie swarming around all over the back as he dips one way, now dips the other, finds a move on the inside line and gets chopped across by Jamie Woodcock. Brilliant battle this for 3rd position between these two as again Mountsie looks over for another way to get through. Maybe round the outside he'll find more speed. Yes, he does. Look at that. Storms round, but now he's got to cut back for the inside, and Woodcock manages to get the position back. This is brilliant as these two dice for 3rd position. Lucca Hopkins is loving it further up because he's no longer part of the battle. Or is he? Woodcock, massive braking into the hairpin and almost tags into the back.
You would think with these two battling behind Hopkins that Hopkins would have cleared off. He should really have a 2 or 3 second advantage, but he hasn't. Here comes the Tyco BMW man down the inside into the top curve and through to 3rd place.
So with Mountsie into 3rd position, Woodcock's now going to try and find some kind of retaliation to get him back again. But really strong correction there from Sullivan Mountsie as he gets the balance of the bike settled into those final chicanes as well. Right and left onto the home straight. Now Lucca Hopkins is the next target. Further back, we've got some good battles. Phillips there in front of Davidson. James Rose Jr. That looks like Desoy, Sparks. And there is your pole man behind Ben Jolliffe, Kyle Payne, trying to fend off at the moment from Ronald Harris. So Kyle Payne really struggling.
Yep, the three here in second, third and fourth, not struggling though. Harrison, Crosby, there he is, going through the left-hander out onto Oak Tree Straight. The second, third and fourth places made their way past the back marker. They're doing the chasing.
It's getting quite hectic there in that battle for fifth position. Phillips and Davidson, we think James Rose Jr. in seventh in front of Desoy. But this battle is still getting very tight as Lucca Hopkins has not been able to get away in second position. And now Sullivan Mounsey, still with Jamie Woodcock hot on his heels. He's going to try and make that move for second position. Meanwhile, out in front, it is still one-way traffic for Harrison Crosby.
That's Orlando Phillips. You just make him out there with the orange suit, easy to spot from the drone through the final turn out onto the straight. We think that is, looks like Davidson's still chasing him there.
Yep, I think you might be right, and that looks to me like James Rose Jr. there in seventh position, just riding his way through in front of, and that is for definite, Harrison Desoy in the 144. So it's going to be an interesting battle to see how these guys settle themselves out. It's going well for Orlando Phillips in this one, not as well as he'd like, but this battle's still hyping up for sixth position as again Davidson moves to cover on the inside apex. He is not going to lose this sixth position if he has anything to say about it.
But Orlando Phillips, look at that, got a good 20 or so bike lengths as they come into this never-ending sweeper at the top of the circuit. The top curve is what we're calling it, and then they come right-handed down this banana straight.
This is the battle for second position again. That was Lucca Hopkins
Oh,
having
and
lost
Harrison Crosby's got a problem.
Yes, something definitely wrong at the back of the bike, and having just got himself into second position, Sullivan Mounsey is now in second position, in prime position to take the lead of the race. They're going to get past this back marker, round the outside, but the next bike up the road is the race leader, Harrison Crosby, with difficulties with the bike.
Smoke is billowing from Harrison Crosby's bike. Can't make out whether that's an engine issue or something rubbing on the tyre. It's got to be an engine issue because he's not been involved in any incident. Here comes Sullivan Mounsey, a bit like Tigger in Winnie the Pooh. He's about to become very happy. He'll be a bouncy, bouncy Mounsey when he gets the race lead. He's about to do that through the right-hander, down the banana straight. Mounsey shook around the outside and does so, and Harrison Crosby won everything here last time out. Earlier in the season, you can see the smoke coming off the back of the bike. It's an engine issue, Jake.
And Lucca Hopkins through as well into second position. What a ride this is going to be on the last lap for our new leader, Sullivan Mounsey, trying to hang on in front of Lucca Hopkins. You can bet that Jamie Woodcock's going to get through into third position as well. If he hasn't already, I think he's already made the move. So it's now a ride to victory between these two, Mounsey versus Hopkins. They come out of the 180 and then will flow through the sweeper up towards Oak Tree Straight. This is going to be a really interesting battle between these two, as Lucca Hopkins, once the man in second position who would have inherited the lead, has allowed his rival Sullivan Mounsey to get through, and Harrison Crosby can do nothing about it with an ailing bike. So now they come through the final chicanes of the lap, round banana curve, and this is going to be a really interesting run to the line, but I don't think Hopkins is close enough to beat Sullivan Mounsey. He's going to give it his best shot. He's going to try every trick in the book, but he's just not close enough. Into the final turn, over the line, and Sullivan Mounsey takes the win of his season. A brilliant victory there. Lucca Hopkins in second, Jamie Woodcock through in third. What a disaster for Harrison Crosby in fourth position. That is not where he wanted to be. Orlando Phillips comes home in fifth in front of James Rose Jr., Alfie Davidson. Kyle Payne rides through to 8th place with Ethan Sparks and Ben Jolliffe rounding out the top 10, but it's a famous victory for Sullivan Mounsey.
The championship points look like this. It's still Harrison Crosby that has the lead from Hopkins in second, Woodcock, Payne and Ethan Sparks third, fourth and fifth.